Hi everyone, since this is your first learning unit, I kind of wanted to walk you through it just so you had an idea of what the materials were and how to attack it. First, you'll see the learning outcomes. Read through those because those are the things that you should be able to do by the time you complete all of the assignments in this unit. So it's very important that you understand what it is you need to know. The next on the list is the Unit 1 activities. And here what you'll see is I have review the learning outcomes. I have that on the 14th. Obviously, if you don't click on it, you can click on it before that or after the 14th. But the other thing I want you to notice, and I don't normally do this, but I wanted to do this for this unit to kind of give you an idea of how to gauge your time. I put in this uh, chart or table rather the amount of time that I think it should take you to complete the assignment. So I've got like 5 minutes to go over the learning outcomes, 10 minutes to look at the timeline, 7 minutes to look at that video, um, 6 to 7 hours to to complete all of the reading assignments, 30 minutes to watch my lectures on those, an hour to complete the reading quiz, an hour to read the materials in the Writing About Literature folder, then 20 minutes to review the Writing About Literature quotation, citation, and documentation document, then about an hour to complete the reading quiz on quotation, citation, and documentation, and then 2 hours to complete the reading reflection assignment. It might take you a little bit longer than that, and these are just approximations. They're really my best guess. It might take you 10 to 15 hours to read through all the materials in Unit 1. I don't know. If you're a slow reader, it might take you longer. It might take you 4 hours if you're a really quick reader. So that's just kind of a guesstimate on my end to give you an idea how to gauge your time and to schedule your activities. I have made this unit go over 2 weeks. Normally our units will be about a week, some of them will be 2 weeks, but I did this on 2 weeks because I wanted to give you enough time to really read the materials closely. The materials in this unit are the hardest reading materials that you will do throughout the semester. It only gets easier. So if you get through this, it's going to be a lot easier next week, or I'm sorry, week after next, and the units are just going to get easier and easier and easier. Here you're dealing with really complex information, a lot of information, a lot of quantity, as well as writings that are not written in English that you are familiar with. So all of that works together to make this pretty challenging. The Brooks and the Todorov pieces are, really challenging pieces because they're very complex, and even though they're written in modern American English, they're still going to take you a little while to get through because they are so complex. And then the others, they're written in English that was popular in the 1400s, so that's going to be really strange to you. There's very weird spellings and just kind of the arrangements of language, so that's going to be a little different from you. Just kind of work through it. Don't get frustrated and give up. Just keep pushing yourself, and usually by the end of a few pages or a page or even a paragraph, you'll get the meaning and get what's going on. This unit, I'm looking at big concepts and big ideas. I'm not looking at, itty bitty quotes and comments and that kind of thing. So see what you can do to get through those big ideas. And again, don't get yourself frustrated. One of the things I want you to notice in the learning units is that I color code them. So you'll see the blue is just basically information, and then anything in red is a graded assignment. So your graded assignments in here, there's 2 quizzes. One of them is not showing up yet because it won't be available until Friday. That's your reading quiz for all of the reading materials. You don't want to complete that until you've done all of the reading. This is a reading quiz for quotation, citation, and documentation. And then your final assignment, graded assignment in this unit, is a reading response, and it's to this prompt about the conquest of Americas. And basically, I'm asking you to think about everything that you've read and then to consider how the concept of the other, race, and ethnicity might have played a role in the conquest of America. What connections can you make with the conquest of the Americas, the concept of otherness, and the current racial tensions Americans face today? So, really, what I want you to do is take what you've read and apply that to what's going on today and kind of tease out how these same ways of looking at the world are relevant today, or in what way they are relevant today. They're not all completely relevant, but they are. So I'm going to go back to the unit on reading materials. You click on that folder, and basically, I'm just kind of list everything here in order that you should complete it. So really do follow the order. The first is a timeline that just tells you of the major historical events that are going on during the period that we're looking at. Then next we've got a quick video, and it just kind of shows you the colonization of America and gives you a map so that you can look closely at what's going on. The first piece you're going to read is by Joanna Brooks, and it's called Working Definitions, Race, Ethnic Studies, and American Literature. And what she does in this piece is she's looking at what we can do with studying Arab, excuse me, American literature and how we can apply that in the world today. And so take a few minutes to read through that. Next is an excerpt from Todorov's book, The Conquest of America. And this is a really major piece because he sets up the whole concept that we're going to be dealing with throughout the semester, which is the concept of otherness. And he talks about how this understanding of otherness really impacted and shaped the way that the Americas were taken over and invaded, basically. Next, you'll read a short letter or a short piece from Hernan Cortez, and it's a letter to the Spanish crown. Then you'll read a piece by De las Casas. Finally, or sorry, not quite finally, almost. You'll read Christopher Columbus, some extracts from his journal, and then you'll read Captain John Smith, and then then you've got these video, which is my mini lecture on these pieces, and then another mini lecture, which is about the concept of a travel log as a literary trope, and we look at Captain John Smith and Christopher Columbus specifically in that. One of the things I want you to note is with both of the videos that I post, I have the PowerPoint, so you can open those up, take notes on them, or whatever as I'm going through these lectures. And finally, you have this document writing about literature, quotation, citation, and documentation. It goes over all of the rules that you need to follow when you're working on your reading response, and basically any time that you are writing about literature. So that's kind of a general overview of what we're going to be doing in this unit. If you have questions, please post them in the questions and concerns discussion board forum. Send me an email, send me a remind, any of those will work. I will talk to you again soon.